Welcome to the RG DFS Tournament Takes podcast. I am your host, Chris Kirkwood here. Well, was here, back from the dead. I was about to do I was hoping that TJ put the Undertaker gif up, where he comes out of the coffin and Bobby's right there, but maybe he can find that quickly. But I'm here with my man Noto. I'm here with Bobby Gomes back. We got the original squad ready for week 17. Only one more week, but what's up, Noto? How you doing?
Dude, running hot. Another big week for me last week, so looking to keep that going.
I quit. You crush every week, and I actually last week was okay. Sorry to interrupt.
More excited for Bobby to be back. Pumped to have him back. The boys are back. Let's go.
I'm happy to be back. I'm very happy to be back for a while there. Oof.
You got the beard? The beard's new. I like it.
Yeah, I haven't shaved in a couple weeks.
How's the new computer?
It's fantastic.
Nice. Well, we're happy to have you back, bud. TJ did his best, but the people were upset. They were clamoring,
they were clamoring.
Yeah.
I don't know about all that. TJ's pretty good, so I'm sure he filled in admirably.
Marie Donyeezy was ready to send in a full-scale investigation into your whereabouts.
He DM'd me and he's like, "Hey,
he could have DM'd me."
He goes, "Could you go check on Bobby? Do you know where Bobby lives? Can you go check on him?" And I said, "Relax, Bobby's all good. Just got to take care of some stuff, personal stuff. A couple babies, a lot of yada yada yada. Give him, I've talked to him. He's okay. Hasn't been hijacked."
Yeah, I thought I got axed.
The new camera is crisp. You can
that's what I'm saying. That's why I asked the new camera, because I immediately noticed he's got a sharp.
I got a whole new setup.
Nice. All right. Well, we're back.
You're out the window.
People are getting mad that we take too much time in the beginning when you left, Bobby. About people were
Costco.
saying, we were having Costco talk, which still could do, but we are back. Let me just do the ad reads real quick. TJ, give me a thumbs up. Are we same ad reads? Okay.
Yeah, they're in the same message as the mysterious link that Bobby couldn't find.
All right. No, they're just above that. The ad reads, I think. Are they in there? Oh no, they're there. Sorry, my bad. All right. So, anyways, happy holidays. Hope you guys had a Merry Christmas. Everybody watching, hope you had a Merry Christmas or Happy Hanukkah or whatever you celebrate. But RG combo. This holiday season brings us some huge DFS contests for NBA and NFL. We want you to have a massive holiday takedown, so we're taking $10 off your first month of combo Lite. So that means access to our SimLabs lineup building tool and content from some of your favorite DFS analysts for just $19.99. It's an affordable subscription that has everything you need to build effective lineups, score a big win this holiday season, and we hope to see you there. And Splash, if you haven't signed up right now, you haven't listened to us all season, but we're still gonna bang the drum here. Now is the time, because you get a special with promo code ROTO10. When you play $100 in Quick Mix, you'll get another $50. So check out Splash Sports. All right, we're good. So this is an interesting slate. We only got 8 games because we don't have this Saturday. A lot of football going on. Like you a lot of college tonight. We got the NFL 3-gamer tomorrow. I always love 3 gamers. So then we got the 8-gamer on Sunday, which is what we'll be doing. But only 8 games. There's basically 3 high-ish total games, and then a bunch that are like just about 40-point totals or under. But I'll give you the 3. It's Green Bay at Minnesota, which has a lot of playoff implications. Should be a great game. I'm excited for that one. Minnesota should be tight also. Minnesota 1.5-point favorites, 48.5-point total. A lot of great plays in that game. It's going to be interesting to dissect how you guys want to attack it. So I'm looking forward to that. Then we got Carolina at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has a lot of playoffs hopes riding on this game. They're minus 8-point favorites at home, 48-point total. Carolina's been putting up a fight recently, looked a little bit better. Chuba got going again last week. Bryce Young is no longer the bust that everyone's talking about. Everyone's moved on to Caleb. I'd say right now is that's how what's going down. But man, he stinks. He's
Hey, he was on my team last week.
yeah, I know. I played him some too and had a good team. But man, he stunk last night.
I refuse to play him.
And you want to hear a little inside information? Friend of a friend was out to dinner. The friend is from Chicago. His friend, they were out to dinner, and his friend saw Caleb in the restaurant, and this was the night before game, and he picked up the tab for Caleb, which I thought was a weird move. I would never do that, but
that's
anyways,
a simple idea in my opinion. I don't know
why.
But
anyways, so he had the receipt. Guess what he drinks? Guess what his drink order was? Night before game, so non-alcoholic beverage. Any guesses? One guess. Holiday drink. You may have had one around the holidays, or the kids certainly like them around Christmas.
The
cranberry.
No.
Kids.
I know what it is. It's
Come on, you know this.
oh shoot, I know what it
Shirley
is.
Temple.
Shirley
yeah.
Temple. I was thinking the singer, yeah. Shirley
Which is
Temple.
what Joel Embiid used to drink all the time when he was out of shape.
Isn't that the Sprite with cranberry?
No, it's grenadine. It's ginger ale and grenadine, which is just liquid sugar and red, and it's sweet, and that's what he was drinking. So
7-Up or Sprite, orange juice, and grenadine.
Okay.
We don't do
We're all
orange
right.
juice here. We don't do orange juice here. That must be a Canadian version.
No, that's what Shirley Temple is.
No,
Everywhere.
no, it's just the ginger ale.
Yeah, I think it's ginger ale.
I thought it was Sprite.
It's ginger ale. It's 100% ginger ale.
Weird. Yeah, your guys is a little bit different than ours.
Yeah.
It's always orange juice though, but you guys do ginger ale instead more often than Sprite or 7-Up. It says usually ginger ale or lemon lime soda like 7-Up or Sprite, but it's always got orange juice.
I can just feel the comments we're going to get from this week for now feeding at us here. All right. So those are the higher total games and a bunch of other games, but we've got some good, we've got playoff implications. We got to make some guesses on whether teams are going to go out and play, whether you're going to see some backups in play. We've got milestones, guys playing for like Saquon trying to the individual season record, catching Eric Dickerson. So interesting slate. I like it. But big picture overview, Noto, how's it looking to you?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's the time of year where we got to pay attention to the motivations, and a lot of teams have something to play for. A lot of teams don't. A team like the Dolphins, they might be eliminated by Sunday. They might not, depending on how the Saturday games go. So I'll definitely be looking to load up on teams that, have motivations, or teams with, young players who can establish themselves, something like that. One game that I do like is the Jags and Titans, even though they both want to lose. It's kind of one of those games that I could see having some fantasy appeal. But, it's a smaller slate, so it's not a lot of value. I guess we'll see Christian Watson. He's kind of the big injury that I'm monitoring. But, yeah, what about you, Bobby?
Yeah, for me, I don't know. I feel like I'm getting a lot of Chargers, Patriots for what it's worth. I know that might sound. Are we talking about the Sunday slate or are we talking about the Saturday slate? We're talking about Saturday, correct?
We don't do Saturday slate. We're talking about Sunday.
I brought up all the Saturday stuff. All right. Yeah, I'll get back to the Sunday. For me, just on Sunday. For me on Sunday.
Woo!
Woo! No, I did the show at Blender earlier. I just gotta pull up my stuff.
All right, good.
Yeah, I like Green Bay Packers. Jaden Reed is someone I really like with Jordan Love. So that's a stack that I'll have a good bit of. I feel like a lot of people are going to play the Darnold side, and I'd just rather be on the Packers side. Yeah, and then the Dolphins, I think, are in a good spot. Achane, Tyreek, Tua stacks, I think, are fine. And yeah, I'll probably have some Bills too with Jets run backs. I think the Jets have a better than 16 total. Their total moved up since earlier today, so like that game for stacking as well.
Yeah. One little caveat with Achane. If on Saturday Denver and the Chargers both win, Miami will be eliminated and have nothing to play for. So I'm sure that'll probably change. Now, Denver is a dog in this situation. So, but it's a tight game, tight spread kind of. And then the Chargers should beat the Patriots, but that's just a little caveat to remember. All right, let's do what we always do. Let's.
I just ruined the show.
No, not at all. Why?
I'm joking. No, because I thought it was for the Saturday for some reason.
It's all good. Oh, I know you ran the Sims. I know you got to just pull the Sims up. I know it's all Bobby bot the bot these days. All right. Let's do blitz most plays. Let's do snap to plays, ETR, cross reference them. Cardi's got Las Vegas and New Orleans as always. Man, New Orleans is pathetic. Dallas and Philly, and then Miami and Cleveland for most plays. Snaps and pace has the games you'd kind of expect over ETR, which would be Green Bay at Minnesota, up in pace, Carolina at Tampa Bay, up in pace, and Tennessee at Jacksonville. The Tennessee at Jacksonville could get interesting because we don't have to worry about Levis with Mason Rudolph. It's crazy calling him an upgrade to the passing game, but that's where we're at in this season. So that game could be like the total. Just it could go one of two ways in my opinion. Either it's going to like ham for DFS or it's going to be awful for DFS. But I don't see it being in the middle there. But who knows? All right, let's talk about running backs. Go to QBs. Go to wide receivers for our stacks. Tight ends, and then Bobby's got the defenses already. He's back, so love that. Love to have you ready for a defensive segment again, and then we'll build a lineup, and then we'll call it a day. We still don't have any UFC picks to do, so none. All right, chalk running back position. We've got some good plays for. I love Bucky Irving. Has a great offensive line. Mismatch here against Carolina. It's running backs against Carolina always. White fumbled the game away in their last one there, which was huge. You got to figure they give him an uptick. Even if they don't give Bucky an uptick, he's still a phenomenal play in my opinion. But there's just to the moon with Bucky Irving this week. So I love that. There is also Saquon on the high end at 8,600. A little tougher to fit, but with Hurts out, you can take away the tush push, and also he's got single season rushing records to break, and so this could be a game they just totally lean on him with two backup quarterbacks going at it against each other. So love that. Bobby's Achane, if they still have someone to play for on Sunday, it was nice to see him break out again last week. Went nuts against San Francisco, 34 fantasy points, had 120 rushing yards, 7 targets, so massive usage. So that's 24 touches or 23 actual touches. He only had 6 catches. He dropped one, but gotta like that. And Aaron Jones, Chuba Hubbard, Jonathan Taylor against the Giants. How easy is that? But and then we've got some other out there players I'll let you guys get to, or at least start the conversations. But Noto, who's your key personnel at running back this week?
Yeah, so Saquon's kind of tough to get to, but I think it's not that difficult. There's some value at wide receiver, especially if Christian Watson ends up being out. You mentioned, I think he has 162 yards to get to 2,000 on the season. Jalen Hurts is out. They're huge home favorites against Dallas. They still have something to play for. So love Saquon this week. Bucky Irving at home against the Panthers. The Buccaneers like to use Rachaad White in the passing game, but this is the spot where they're 8.5-point favorites. Last week he saw 16 carries compared to only 3 for Rachaad White. So I think we could get pretty big workload for Bucky Irving. And then love the revenge spot for Aaron Jones. He saw a season-high 26 touches the last time they played the Packers, and they are much better against the pass than they are against the run. So those 3 are my favorites. Then it's kind of a step down to the next tier. Don't mind Jonathan Taylor. And I think I like Taylor, whether it's Flacco or Anthony Richardson or center. Outside of that, I'm kind of keeping my running back pool pretty small. Bobby, who do you like?
Yeah, I like Saquon. Like, I think the narrative for Saquon is fantastic. Achan is another one that I think is super strong if they have something to play for. So those two are going to be guys that I try to get to. Bucky Irving's my favorite of the chalk. It's funny, Jonathan Taylor does it versus the best run D in the league. Does he do it this week versus the Giants? I think he would fall to like my third running back. I prefer Saquon and Achan ahead of Jonathan Taylor. I still like Jonathan Taylor, but for me, he would definitely be 3 out of those tournament pivots. In terms of chalk that I really don't like, just let me pull it up here. Yeah, Aaron Jones, probably not playing a lot of him. I think more people are bullish on the passing game anyways. Don't love Jones. Chuba Hubbard, I think, is what I think I may prefer getting to Hubbard over JT, but Hubbard's going to be pretty I actually flip that. I'd rather play Taylor than Hubbard just because that game's going to be super owned. Hubbard's a key cog in that game. Rather play Bryce Young's passing game. So, yeah, if I had to rank them, it'd be Bucky, Saquon, Achan, Taylor, Jones, Hubbard. That's kind of how I have it. Actually, Hubbard, Jones. So the two chalk and Jones and Hubbard, I'm going to be under on, I would say.
Bobby versus Noto, under on the Aaron Jones, Noto Pro and Aaron Jones. I'm going to break the tie. I'm with you on Aaron Jones. I'm a sucker for revenge. I can't. Yeah, like that's all I need to see. Plus, his price is only 6,200. It's the game with the massive total. Yeah, everyone's going to play. I mean, everyone's going to play everything in this game. You know, like this is going to be the game everyone plays. But I mean, I like it.
I guess if I'm playing Love, Jones is the better play, correct? Like you would just rather Jones.
I mean, there's Jefferson, obviously. There's Addison, who's probably the best play because of probably from an ownership standpoint, I would think. But I mean, it's all the guys really in this game.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Breece Hall. That 6,300 price tag. Like, wouldn't it? Like, it's just so stupid. Like, he was hurt, and now they're just continuing. He gets 77% of the snaps last week.
I don't get the Jets.
Yeah, they never make any sense. So why not play him this week? Is what I'm thinking. But
he's hitting our first optimal for what it's worth
on the blitz.
Yep. No, in Sims. Or he was. No, never mind. Sorry, that's Saquon.
Josh Jacobs is probably the guy who is not going to be played enough in that game on the other side.
He is hitting our first optimal. Yeah, 1 out of 100. I got Breece Hall and HN.
There you go.
All over the place.
I don't mind it. You could Buffalo even have, it would be like so the Jets to like be competitive in this game. Plus, I think even though this is an important game for Buffalo, I feel like in these good matchups, these easy wins like they had against the Patriots, even though it didn't look easy, I feel like they're not showing their full hand, and they talked about that too, rolling into playoffs. Like, so I don't think they're opening it up in the playbook, and they're kind of playing a little bit conservative, which would make me, I wouldn't put it past the Jets to be competitive in this game. But Josh Jacobs, 8,100, people aren't going to play him, so that's like enough. He's the lowest of the ownership of all like the keep guys. But I mean, should he be? Like, he was absolutely smashing in like he scored 20 fantasy points against the Saints where they didn't have to do anything. If this game goes back and forth, a touchdown or two, if this is a high scoring game, I mean, he could go ballistic. In my opinion, Jerome Ford is another guy I'm interested in because 80% of the snaps, Dearness Johnson fumbled, and so I just think he's going to get all the running back and like against Miami, and especially if it ends up being Miami has nothing to play for by this time, then 5,900 for Jerome Ford at low ownership, I think could be pretty good. I'm just trying to look for guys. I also think Alexander Madison, coming off of a decent game now against the Saints, like in a good matchup. I mean, he didn't have a good game. He had a good game only because he got a touchdown. I mean, he did rush the ball 12 times for 27 yards. Like, He wasn't very efficient, but the usage was there. He got 7 targets. He was more used in the passing. He had 29 yards passing, and he did get his touchdown. So against Jacksonville, it was a good matchup, but I don't mind him. But other than that, maybe, and I guess my last guy I'm looking at, like, you've been able to run on the Jets and James Cook. Like, nobody ever plays this guy.
Yeah.
And he just absolutely went nuts against the Pats. Like, why can't he do it again against the Jets?
Yeah, I like that call. He's the guy I was going to bring up. He's had a bunch of 30-point games this season. One other guy, if Tony Pollard ends up being out, Tajay Spears could be interesting. Pollard hasn't practiced all week, so I don't know. They have nothing to play for. They might as well give Spears a look. He's only 5,400 against the Jags.
Yep. What about if Pollard is in, any interest in him against the Jags? Even though they have nothing to play for, but like he's been banged up. You'd think it would make sense to rest guys, but
yeah,
maybe he's really not that hurt.
I mean, yeah, nobody's going to play him, and I love anyone against the Jags, so it's interesting.
Yeah, so whoever.
Any Kendra Miller love, no one's going to even look at that game. Oakland's trying to actively lose.
I wanted to play him, but I was looking at the snap share from last week.
Yeah.
He played like 40%, and Mims.
So yeah.
So Kendra was the lead back for the entirety until this turned into a mega blowout.
Okay.
And then they said, hey, Mims, go out there and catch
That's what I was wondering.
see what happens, because they were already down like 4 touchdowns for the entirety of the second half of the third quarter and all the fourth.
I really like the James Cook call by Kirkwood because no one's going to play Josh Allen. Just playing Josh Allen, pairing him with Cook, one of the receivers, I think is an interesting way to play this slate, especially we know Allen's ceiling, and then all these guys are going to be low owned. I think the Jets are quality run backs. Their team total came up a little bit, so I like the James Cook call. What about Tyrone Tracy? Any Tyrone Tracy love?
No, maybe. Like it's just like it's hard to get confident in any side, but I mean he even in that blowout game he caught that touchdown. Like he looked good on that catch was phenomenal. What he caught in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. He had 26 yards rushing, which is terrible. Did have the reception. 4 receptions, 43 yards. Did have a tutty, and they got blown out by Atlanta. If they can keep this game a little bit more competitive against the Colts, yeah, why not? And then what about we might get Flacco in this game?
I hope so.
Yeah,
Flacco
I mean that
very interesting for me
against the Giants. I mean that he just unlocks the slate then at 4,900, right? Is that what he is?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it's good for Taylor too. More involved in the passing game.
And good. Obviously, we could play Downs.
Pittman.
Boy, yeah.
AD Mitchell might finally score a TD.
Yeah. All right. I think we hit all those. Let's move on over to quarterbacks. Okay, from an ownership perspective, I mean, it's there's like, so Sam Darnold's gonna get the most love. He's hitting a lot of optimals around the industry. He's 6,400 against Green Bay this game. Everyone's thinking this game is going to shoot out. There are a lot of ways to play it, but certainly looking like the top wide receiver play of the slate is looking like Justin Jefferson. So obviously you're going to get a lot of Darnold, and Darnold's been really good anyways. So you have to at least consider that he's going to be chalk, but really how much chalk do QBs really get? I don't know. I mean, maybe in smaller field, higher dollar stuff, he's going to be pushing like 30%. That might be a lot. But in large field stuff, we're probably looking at 10 to 15. So 15 to 20, somewhere in that range. So I still think you can do it if you're cognizant how you build your lineups. Baker Mayfield against Carolina in a game that they really need to win. If they really need to win, yes, Bucky Irving seems like a smash play, but Baker to Evans. I mean, the way you win is you go to Mike Evans, who was bottled up last game, but had double coverage all over him. But I don't think that'll be the case this week against Carolina. Did I lose picture for a second? Jordan Love is in play for sure. The other half of that high total game. Bryce Young is looking like he's going to get a little bit of ownership here. Certainly has been better, but gets that Tampa D coming off of a 27 fantasy point performance, 2 passing touchdowns, which is nice to see. And he rushed one in, and he's now rushed one in 3 out of the last 4 starts. So I like that. AOC, if we're really trying to dumpster dive here against New Orleans, I'd run out Shavelson against New Orleans in this spot in a dome. I mean, seriously, how many points could Shavelson put up in this?
Not many.
No, you're not on board yet with Shavelson.
Let's put him in the
He's
shotgun.
like Rudy. Maybe he gets there.
And then there's Josh Allen. There's also Mason Rudolph. I don't know how gross you guys want to get, but I'll let Bobby start it because he usually has some out there plays for deep GPP stuff. So get crazy. Who do you like, Bobby?
I like Tua. I hate to say it. I like Tua. Just been an awful year for the Dolphins. If they're playing for something, I think the stack is just super condensed. Achane, Tyreek, Tua, Jonnu Smith, done. That's literally it. I think those 3 guys. I should throw Malik Washington in there and larger field stuff. Bryce Young. Everyone's going to play the Baker side, playing the Bryce Young side. Bryce Young looks pretty good currently, so don't mind Bryce Young. Like Baker too as well, but I just think for lesser ownership, you play the Bryce Young stack and you run Evans back. Aaron Rodgers, Garrett Wilson, and Devontae Adams. I like Rodgers a good bit. I think he's a really strong play in tournaments. So into that. Jordan Love, talked about him on Blender's show. I just think I'm playing some Jordan Love, Jaden Reed, or Jordan Love, Tucker Kraft, run it back with one of these wide receivers from the Vikings. Love's ownership's kind of creeping up incredibly. Still think he'll be around 10%. Josh Allen, someone no one's going to play, and I think the Jets are fine run backs, and stacking him with a Shakir or a Kincaid is fine, or James Cook for that matter. I think Allen should have the highest ceiling on the slate at the quarterback position, so I'm totally fine with playing Allen. Not really in Anthony Richardson. That would change if we got Flacco. I'd have interest in Flacco for sure. Yeah, the Darnold thing just doesn't intrigue me as much because you're playing so much. There's so much ownership there, unless you're playing with Addison, and Addison lit this Green Bay Packers team up in that first game. Caught a 40-yard touchdown to start off the game. So I think I'd play him differently. Probably wouldn't stack. Just try to get Addison in those stacks or someone who's going to be low owned. Aaron Jones didn't get there in the first time they played. It was in Green Bay. He didn't get there. Maybe he gets there in Minnesota. It's pretty much it. I'm not playing Aiden O'Connell. I won't play Mac Jones. These teams are actively playing to lose football games. So do what you want with those guys.
What's going on in the chat here, Kirk?
What's happening? I said that people were talking about Josh Allen's hand. I said it's their left hand. Nobody uses their left hand except maybe Shavelson.
He's a lefty.
Yeah, he might be.
I could see him being a lefty for sure.
And then maybe a little off the rail. Jug Nation is here. It always gets a little crazy. But Odo, what are you thinking at QB?
Yeah, I like Bryce Young. I'm kind of with you guys in that Sam Darnold. I'm not excited to play him at chalk. He's fine for sure. If you're building the cash game lineup, he's probably the guy to go to for sure. I have interest in whatever quarterback starts for the Colts, whether it's Anthony Richardson or Joe Flacco. I don't mind some Aiden O'Connell, Mason Rudolph. I like my cheap quarterbacks. So it's one of those weeks I just don't feel great. I do like Bobby's call with Josh Allen if you can afford him. It's kind of hard to get up there, so he's going to be really low owned. And yeah, one more big game pretty much cements his MVP, right?
Yes and no. I mean, Lamar's coming back now after that performance, so
maybe even more reason.
Yeah, so that's definitely a reason. I mean, they have the number 2 seed to play for against the Ravens, and they also have MVP to play for if you think they're thinking that's important or not. I don't know, but it's a good story to tell. So I could see it. I know it feels like I feel like having a really tight quarterback pool is the way here because I can't see any of these other guys breaking the slate. But then again, it's always going to be like at the end of the season, always something crazy happens. It feels like, but it's like we're talking about guys like DTR, Mac Jones, Drew Lock, Spencer Rattler, like just after like a core of like 7 QBs. So it's only an 8-game slate. I have to remind myself. So yeah, even more reason to make it, tighter. But all right. Any of those out there guys you guys like?
Oh,
I don't see any. Like no
kinda...
way. It would be Mason Rudolph I could see, but like I don't like it. Like I'm not playing. I don't like Mac Jones, but I'm a hater. I'm a New England fan, here. So Bobby, are you gonna play any Mac?
Could Kenny Pickett get there?
They're actively trying to lose games. We've seen this last week. So I don't know. Yeah, you could play Mac, and I would rather play like the Tennessee Titans side and just play Mason Rudolph, Calvin Ridley, and Brian Thomas because Brian Thomas is going to be chalk.
No.
You like Mac?
No, Kenny Pickett has leverage off Saquon.
I just think the narrative for Saquon is like there. I get it. I thought Kenny Pickett looked like adequate watching that game. I needed you
last week, Bobby. TJ wouldn't let me talk him off of Mac Jones, I don't think, last week. If I remember correctly, or was that 2 weeks ago?
No, it was last week.
It worked. My Mac Jones lineup was the reason I made all the money. The reason it didn't work was Brenton Strange part, but Mac Jones was perfectly adequate. He outscored Desmond Ritter, who won the Millie Maker.
I like.
Yeah, I mean, that's like a Penix.
Not Desmond Ritter, Michael Penix.
Penix. Shavelton's a lefty.
We've already made Shavelton a big fan of Penix. Big Penix fan. All right. Let's on that note, let's take it over to wide receiver. Let's BTJ, like you guys just said, gonna be absolute chalk. But man, then the usage numbers are just insane. I mean, he's getting everything, all the air yards, all the targets, all the first 3 targets. And he's good. He's ridiculously good. He's putting up monster games with Mac Jones. He's got nine receptions on 13 targets last week, 132 yards, 1 tutty, 35 fantasy points the week before that. Guy is going nuclear, so he's going to be chalk against Tennessee. I get it. Justin Jefferson is going to be chalk as probably the best overall wide receiver play on the slate. Malik Neighbors is getting peppered with targets. Unfortunately, they're from Drew Lock, but he's still getting there. But maybe this game against Indy, they can put up more of a fight and he can get in the end zone. Mike Evans coming off of where he was double and triple teamed, it seemed like, against the Cowboys, a bust, but he still has going for that 1,000 yards, and they need this game. And in a competitive, in a game at home where they really need to win against a bad defense, Mike Evans should go absolutely. So I like that. There's Calvin Ridley. There's we got to talk about Dontavian Wicks if Watson is out, which I think he will be. We've seen this story play out before. Yes, he got, dude. That was a fix. So did you see when Jacobs went out of bounds at the 2? When he totally could have just walked into the end zone? It made no sense to me. I was like, this game is fixed. And then they gave Dontavian Wicks 2 shots to get in the end zone. And he got his touchdown. Like, it was freaking crazy.
What was the reasoning?
I don't know what the reasoning is, but to me, it looked like somebody had a big ticket on Dontavian Wicks' first touchdown, and it can't be Jacobs. That's what it looked like. That's just what my eyes were seeing, what my eyes were telling me. But
you got to agree with your eyes. Your eyes always know best, right? You got to trust the eyes.
Yeah, but other guys like Addison, I mean, did you see another thing? So I'm looking at Jalen Coker, like potentially, or Thielen, like guys like that. But did you see the Leggett eating the raccoon yet?
I didn't watch it, but I saw that he was about to do it, and I just didn't click the video.
Yeah, so this happened like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. He was on.
Like gross, to be honest.
What was that?
Like raccoon. Who eats raccoon? Like one time I was in like kindergarten, and this kid brought in pigeon. Never talked to him. Never spoke to him again. Pigeon sandwich? Come on, dude. Like
Mike Tyson would kill the guy.
Where are your parents? You know.
I mean, this guy talks about raccoon. He was all over like Twitter talking about how he eats raccoon. He skins it himself. And then this week, he had a video of him. He brought it into the locker room, and he was eating it. Anyway, it's crazy.
Are you even allowed to do that? You have to hunt them? Are you allowed to do that?
Yeah, what's the legality of eating raccoons? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's legal because he's doing it and it's all over the place. But I don't know. But anyway, Noto, who are your guys at wide receiver?
Yeah, first off, PJ wants no part of your conspiracy theories there, Kirkwood.
What was my conspiracy? It was 100%. Why? What did he say?
Just check the chat. Yeah, I love the skinny stack with Brian Thomas.
He didn't fall. He didn't. That's not true. That is not true. He went
shutting down everybody's conspiracy theories. The kindergartner probably lied to Bobby. Jacobs was trying to tiptoe the sidelines and lost his balance.
He went out on purpose. He went out on purpose.
The next two.
He went out on purpose.
He was still optimal in showdown, Jacobs, by the way, 80% owned.
He just couldn't get the first. He couldn't get the first touchdown. The call was made. The NFL, that phone rang. I'm telling you.
He had a little earpiece in his helmet and stepped out of bounds, and he just jumped out.
Yeah, big money on the line, Noto.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It's happening right under our noses.
Sound like all the guys on Twitter that want the refund when somebody gets hurt.
I've never asked for a refund of my I've lost so many which ways, every single which way you can imagine. Like I can take an injury.
All right, what are we talking about?
Yeah, give me your wide receivers. Who's going to crush?
Yeah, skinny stack. Brian Thomas, Calvin Ridley. Love that. Thomas has had 39 targets over the last 3 games. Ridley's getting his revenge against one of the worst secondaries in the NFL and Jaguars. So like that, like all the Green Bay guys, I'm not sure which one will be my favorite. I think Wicks will probably be the chalk if Watson's out. So I'll probably play more Dubs and Jaden Reed. Hoping Neighbors would be out, but it kind of sounds like he's going to play. I love the Mike Evans call. I think he needs 182 yards over the last 2 games to get to that 1,000-yard mark. And 2 really easy matchups, too. So I think he's going to crush this week. Probably not going to play a ton of Jefferson just because I can't afford him in my lineups. So I'll play more Addison and Jefferson.
Yeah, Addison.
Yep.
It's like why pay $8,300 when you can get him for 63? Bobby.
Yeah, for me, let me just check here. Want to check my NBA quick. What do we get for NBA? Is there an 8:30 or just a 9 o'clock here in terms of? I know you guys don't care, but all right.
Yeah, we got 9 o'clock.
We get a 8:30. Okay, there we go. Malik Neighbors, I'll play him with Drew Lock. I'm fine with it. Like you could play Wandale. I wouldn't play Wandale, but
you're playing Drew Lock.
No, I'm just saying, like with Drew Lock under center, you can play some Neighbors. Like I'm fine with Neighbors. Brian Thomas is the chalk that I don't love. I know he's been fantastic. It is super condensed, so if you want to go there, I think he's better in Mason Rudolph stacks. Evans, I'm just playing the narrative, getting over on it. Devontae Adams, I love. I think this game environment for the Jets and Buffalo is very interesting. I think it's the one that most people are going to shy away from, and for that reason, I think it's really the one you should be playing. Calvin Ridley, I think he's fine pair, and if you're running Rudolph and you're running Brian Thomas, get to some Ridley. Jalen McMillan, he's the Tampa Bay guy that I think will be less owned relative to really what he should be. He's cheap. Everyone's kind of owning that game, but he's the guy that I want to get over on. Thielen, Myers, no interest. Jalen Coker. Well, I have interest in these guys, but I feel like I'll be under the field. Same thing with Coker. Khalil Shakir, I'll be playing because I like Allen. Shakir seems to be his favorite target, although he wasn't last week. Tyreek Hill, like him with Tua. Always like him with Tua. Garrett Wilson, Rodgers stacks. Rodgers doubles, I think, make a good bit of sense. Michael Pittman Jr. If Flacco is in, I am playing Michael Pittman Jr. I am playing Josh Downs. But I think Michael Pittman would be the one that people won't play. Downs is perfectly fine. He targets him a ton, and we know that. But if you want to double him, I think Michael Pittman's going to be someone in tournaments that will likely get squeezed. Jordan Addison would be my favorite Minnesota Viking. Well, obviously Jefferson is, but from an ownership perspective, like I just like Addison's. It just has lower ownership. AJ Brown is someone who's not going to get played, and Kenny Pickett just targeted him. So, like, I prefer AJ Brown to Devontae Smith, and he'd be my favorite Eagles receiver in tournaments. Brandon Cooks, fine playing him. Someone no one's going to play. Cooper Rush. Lamb's pretty much gone for the year.
He's
done. So maybe this ownership comes up on Cooks, but I think Cooks is fine. Jaden Reed, my guy, just playing Jaden Reed regardless. He's my favorite pair with Love outside of Kraft. It's pretty much everything. Watson, if he plays, I guess, is interesting. I would always group Wicks and Watson away from each other. If Watson were to sit, definitely bump Wicks. That's pretty much everything I got.
All right. I love the Jaden Reed call. The price on all of these. I like Dobbs too a lot as well. But if Watson's out, and in that game, but the problem is they're going to get so much ownership. That McMillan call, awesome. It's ridiculous, right? Like he's 4,600 still. Godwin is still out. Kate Otten he's gonna be out again, right? And you got 3 weeks in a row where he scored at least a touchdown.
Sterling Shepard's also out.
Yeah. So like McMillan is a phenomenal play, and he may not be owned enough, like what you were saying, Bobby. So love that call. I love Calvin Ridley in this spot. Little didn't we just see this? Is this
we saw a
couple weeks ago. Yeah. So we get the revenge spot with a QB, with still I wouldn't call him a good QB, but a QB that can actually a little bit throw the ball downfield. Rudolph. So give me some Ridley. What about going back to the Jacoby Myers chalk flop lag?
I just think they stink and they don't want to win.
So there's the electric and then there's stinks. So we got him in the stinks.
Yeah, he stinks. But yeah, I guess if you want to chase
Did we talk about Adam Thielen?
I got a feeling.
Price down, we gotta like his wide receiver 1, right?
Yeah, 5,700. He doesn't get hurt. What about Garrett Wilson, who was complaining to the media, and Devontae is banged up too a little bit.
Love that one.
I like them both as run backs to Allen, and I like them both in Rodgers stacks.
So basically, like wide receiver is like all mid-tier stuff. One potential cheap value play at Dontavian Wicks if Watson is out, and only just a couple of high end with Justin Jefferson and Mike Evans really seems like the highest that's in play. You could go Devontae Adams at 7,100, but he's banged up, but AJ Brown, which Bobby was saying is 7,800. So it's but there's ton. So it's pick these mid-tier guys that can go off.
Bobby brought up Brandon Cooks. He's like a veteran that always gets hurt. Can we play like Turpin or Colbert?
Yeah, I was thinking Turpin.
That's my guy this week.
Okay. Turpin, DJ?
Yeah, I think he's probably still only going to be on the field for like 30 or 40% of snaps. But without Lamb, they're going to be needing to scheme plays for somebody to push the ball downfield a little bit. So I think he'll get some screens. He'll get some, hopefully a couple deep shots. But I think he probably gets 6-7 targets in a tiny snap share.
I like it.
I can't believe that this Canadian man is just so naive to know that the game was fixed right in front of his nose, and he was in there saying it wasn't, that he lost.
Totally has nothing to do with a guy like Wicks who's dropped 1 billion passes this year, and they're playing a horrific team. So, maybe they want to build his confidence going up down the home stretch. No,
it was all. This is a money grab. This is what this is. I can't. It's just the Canadians. It's naive. People pull fast ones on them all the time. Doesn't even notice. Got to question these things.
They got you paying to go to the doctor, and you think we're the ones getting fast ones pulled on us.
Well, I mean, I can't stand that, obviously, but there's nothing I can do about that personally. I agree with that.
It's probably the person that hates that the most, for what it's worth.
Yeah, Bobby and I have had some heated healthcare discussions. Potentially, we didn't really get it. We didn't really get into the United healthcare discussion, which I don't want to get into.
We kind of got into it.
Yeah, a little bit. Just 20 seconds, I'd say.
I get your take on it, 100%.
Yeah, you got my take. All right, let's move it on over to tight end. So, okay. He's back getting all the targets. Brock is probably the best play because he's a wide receiver for like the highest upside guy at 6,700 in a matchup against New Orleans. So they have finally had a good. He had a good game and a good match against Jacksonville. He got 13 targets. That's what we were looking for the 2 weeks before that. Because that's what he was putting up with. He had 14 targets against KC. He had 16 targets against Miami. Just big games. Then he fizzled out for 2, but he's back. He didn't get the touchdown. He didn't get the 100-yard bonus. He finished at 99 yards. But certainly you could make a case to make him a priority this week. You could also make a case for going all the way down to Payne Durham, who's Otten's replacement. Just going as cheap as it can be because you're hoping that no one can really beat you at tight end. Jake Ferguson, maybe he's the guy for Dallas at 3,700. When we're talking about Turbin and Cooks, maybe it's Ferguson's the guy this week. Other than that, Chig is a guy that I always kind of like, 3,600. Jonnu, 5,700. Tucker Kraft. Not going to be projecting for too much ownership as a way to play that game. But I don't know. Who do you like? Noto.
Yeah, you mentioned my favorite 3 at the very top, Brock Bowers. He only needs 16 receptions to break the all-time tight end reception record. So Raiders don't have anything to play for. Maybe they try to get their star rookie, an all-time record, which would be pretty cool. Good matchup against New Orleans, too. And then if you're going all the way down, Payne Durham, you mentioned him with Cade Otton out. He saw 7 targets last week. Also like Jake Ferguson, 3,700. Just one of those guys that probably going to benefit with CeeDee Lamb out. Probably going to be very high owned. But, don't mind those guys. And then if you're not playing Jefferson or Addison, probably should get some TJ Hawkinson exposure.
Love that. Did you see what Chat's saying? So Chat has alerted me that TJ was an early investor in Hawk Tua coin. So I don't know. It's just what
I
they
had a tweet about that, like right when I heard it was dropping, that you deserve to get rugged. And then just interesting, kind of my scenario in these last couple weeks.
Interesting that TJ would be involved in that, don't you think?
He might have been involved. He could be a culprit.
That's what the chat's saying. That's the word on the street. That's what the word. Plus, he would come on here and he would deny it, right? Because he doesn't want to take the embarrassment of that. So we can't trust him, even if he comes on and says no.
And no, I didn't get rugged for buying Hawk Tua coins. I can assure you that.
Who do you like at tight end, Bobby?
Payne Durham. I think he's relatively cheap, and I'm willing to play him at tight end just because he's there. Playing for Tampa, I don't mind him.
He got 7 targets, I think it was.
Yeah, he got 7 targets. I can play some of that. Jake Ferguson, I think, is fine with CeeDee Lamb out. The guys that I have question marks about are Hawkinson and Bowers. They're fine. I'm definitely going to play them. I'm just not playing them over the field. I'd rather go to a Kincaid. Rather play Tucker Kraft a good bit. I'm definitely playing them, but I probably at the field more than anything. I don't know who else is there really. Jonnu, if you want to play that angle.
Everybody's favorite tight end from last week, Brenton Strange.
Yeah,
who busted a lot of lineups.
Yeah, I think he's fine.
He was hurt last week, right?
What happened?
Allegedly, his shoulder dinged up.
I just kept seeing Luke Farrell get catches. I was so mad at the end of that game.
Yeah. The flop lag, if you want to do the same thing with Myers, you can go to Strange. No one's going to play Strange. That's pretty much it. I think my tight end pool is going to be pretty condensed. I have 5 tight ends currently.
I think Kraft is the way to go.
I think he is too, but then I'm showing in Sims, he's not showing up fantastic. You remove.
You run the Kirk Sims, all right? Look, I ran it. It's spitting.
Blender likes him. Blender's super sharp, so I trust Blender.
All right, let's take us home with defense, Bobby.
Yeah, DST. Can't wait for it. Yeah, so the Raiders, why not? Going against Ritter, I would imagine they're going to be chalky, though. Yeah, they're going to be very chalky. Let's go the Saints on the other side versus Aiden O'Connell. I think they're fine. That game, I think both teams are actively trying to lose, so those are the defenses I like.
Noto, you got any defensive you like, or who cares?
Yeah, I like the Eagles a lot. This is against Cooper Rush, and they have something to play for. If I'm going all the way down, we talked about playing the Pats last week. I ended up playing them at 2,100. The Jets are 2,100 this week, so I don't need them. Other than that, just whatever you can fit.
Yeah, the Raiders are the cheapie, but they're going to be the chalk, right? Because against New Orleans, who just couldn't score in an entire football game. Other than that, yeah, I see your Jets there getting a little bit of love. I'm trying to think of something. I don't know. Who cares? All right, let's build a lineup, boys. Nothing really stuck out for me from a QB standpoint. It didn't seem like any of us were too gung ho about must-haves. We weren't all or must. But who, if you Bobby and Noto, you got to.
Yeah, I want the Guinea stack with Ridley and Brian Thomas.
Which side for QB?
Either one.
I would prefer the Rudolph side.
Mason?
No, neither one.
Neither. Oh,
either one. Okay, so what are we doing at QB?
How about A-Rod to Devontae with a run back of James Cook?
I'll do it, but I'm just saying.
All right, we don't have to do it. I'm just saying.
No way I'm playing Aaron Rodgers.
All right, let's go to Love and let's go to Jaden Reed.
Okay, Jaden Reed. Love Jaden Reed and Kraft.
Okay, yeah, that works. And
we're gonna do Addison.
Yeah.
Or Aaron Jones. It's either Addison or Aaron Jones. But we got to be able. We're gonna have to play wide receiver in the flex if we want to do your skinny stack also.
That's fine.
How much we got left?
So.
If you go Aaron Jones here, you are left for $4,400 for a DST and a flex. If you also add my personal favorite play of Bucky Irving.
Ooh, I like that.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
we gotta
didn't
have
do
some
we didn't do Addison. So we did put Addison or we didn't?
Addison or Jones. So it'd be 43.50 if you used Addison, 44 if you
That's
used
fine.
Jones.
We can use Jones. We can do it either way, but then it'll end up being like Wicks and whatever DST you want.
I just feel like it'd be easier if you go Jones, just because then it's for a flex.
Yeah.
You'd have to play a super cheap running back if you wanted to do Addison.
Yeah,
Like
let's
it.
let's do it that way because Wicks is going to come, pretty sure, for value. Or you could probably fit McMillan.
Yeah, we got 4,400 each. We could fit 6K guy.
All right, that's a wrap. We don't have any MMA winners for the weekend on Yeezy. We will have them soon. We're gonna have a big month in January for UFC. I'm missing it. I need it. Oh yeah, we didn't put Saquon in there, but or do anything with that game. But that's all right. We got a good lineup. I like the lineup. All right. Any final words for the people, Bobby? Since you've been gone.
No, yeah, guys, thanks for having me back. It's been exciting being on the show today.
Sounds it, my man. Appreciate it. Moto?
Yeah, Bobby, good to have you back. Like the beard. Enjoy the Saturday games, and yeah, let's stay hot on main sites.
No, I just put a little note in that I need to contact you with where before the site starts on Sunday morning. So get your final thoughts here, so I can tail. You got to tail a hot streak. You have to. All right, thank you. This has been the RGDFS Tournament Takes podcast. Thank you all for who showed up in chat and watching. Thank you for the listeners each week. We'll be back next week for the motivational week 18. That's always a good time breaking down all the motivations and whatnot. So let's have a good week this week, and we will catch you next week. Thanks a lot.